Good morning, everyone. We are excited and honored to get started with you today. We're really happy that you're here listening live, and if you get to listen to the recording, that's going to be wonderful as well. My name is Becca Tinter, and I'm so excited to share with you the possibilities that can happen when you can work from home and be a full-time mom and also make an executive income doing something of meaning and purpose. And so I'm also excited to share the stories today of some great friends of mine who have done some amazing things. So first, we wanted to start just having some fun and thinking about what does it mean to be a mom boss. You know, we think of it as living an integrated life. We love the fact that we are able to work from home and do something of meaning and purpose. In fact, we were joking as we were preparing for you today that we're business on the top and we're comfortable on the bottom. Many of us are wearing our workout clothes on the bottom, but we get to dress up when we want to, and we get to be professional, but we also get to be comfortable and work from home, and it's such an honor. And as we were thinking about what it looks like to live an integrated life, we wanted to talk to you about that title, that phrase, that thought process, just really briefly. You know, many people talk about living a balanced life, but that can be a misnomer. That can be a thought process where everything has to have an equal portion of your time and commitment, and that's not reasonable as moms. But when we think about living an integrated life, that really has a lot more to do with balancing the idea of working and playing hard and counterbalancing. So we work hard, we play hard. We also have the different seasons and parts of our life blending together. They're integrated. So whether that's ministry or motherhood or marriage or family or relationships, they all blend together. And we have found that in health coaching, and we're excited to share that with you as well. So we want to talk about living our life on purpose. And the ripple effect was something that really struck me as I got started as a health coach. You know, the fact that I could help one person and that one person could help one person. And then all of a sudden, many, many people were getting healthy just because I made a decision that I was ready to get healthy and pay it forward. The other part of that is we get to see the balance of physical, mental, and financial health. We get to live in that sweet spot in the center where we have all those pieces and parts working together. We don't have to give up one for the other, and that's an incredible gift. The last little picture here, I'm just in love with this image, the one that talks about where you can be living in your purpose in the center there, and it's got the 4 circles that are all blended. You know, I really didn't think it was possible to find something in my life that I could actually enjoy, that would pay me well, that was needed by the world, and that I could become competent at. And I can tell you that's exactly what's happened with health coaching, and it's been so amazing. So I have the honor to tell my story first. Again, my name is Becca Tinter, and my story starts about 5 years ago. 5 years ago at this time, I had 3 little boys. They were 3.5, 2, and 1 month old. Yes, they came quickly and all at once, and life got really crazy really fast. I was a stay-at-home mom, although I had been a former school teacher. I was doing a business from home that was taking me out of my house for a couple hours in the evenings. It was tedious. It had a lot of work involved. I was getting worn out by it, and I was looking for something else to do of meaning and purpose. And I was really excited when health coaching came along. My husband was also a full-time police officer. He was working overtime because basically we had enough to survive, but we had no extra. So between my part-time job working from home and Kevin's overtime, we created a little bit of a buffer or margin for ourselves. And that's how we started to get by. But what happened is Tia, who's going to share in a few minutes, my health coach, she offered me this choice, this opportunity to get healthy. I chose it. I started on the Nursing Moms Plan. I was able to get healthy myself and start to pay the gift forward. And then my husband, Kevin, saw what was possible. And he started to help me just on the side, a little bit at a time. And that started to grow. And what was really exciting is we were getting healthy. Our family was getting healthier. And the reason I started was really just for $800 to $1,000 a month. That was enough to take Kevin off of overtime and release the burden that we had. But we didn't stop there. Very, very quickly, the income grew from that point on. And that was what was exciting and what got Kevin's attention is we could do something of meaning and purpose, but the income was growing. And we were helping a lot of people. Well, fast forward a little bit. We have a health coaching business that is all across the country and even influencing our overseas military. We have clients and coaches all over the country, thousands of them choosing health each day, which is really exciting. And what's really neat is less than 2 years after I started as a health coach, Kevin was able to come home and be a stay-at-home dad. He's a full-time dad, part-time health coach. Together, the two of us work less than he did full-time at the police department most of the time, which was exciting. And so our business had grown. And then here was the really, just kind of the cherry on the top. You know, when I got started as a health coach, I had those initial goals. And a couple people challenged me to dream really big. And one of the things I dreamed about was giving away something that would never have been possible before. And in April of this past year, 4 years practically to the day that I started health coaching, I was able to take out the checkbook and write a check to buy an ultrasound machine because I have a heart for the unborn. And that was incredible. And I was able to do that simply because of coaching. And it was such a neat opportunity. And I'm praying that lives are changed because of that. So that's just a little bit of my story, but it's been an honor and a privilege to do this. And I would like to introduce you to my friend Megan. I'm really excited for her to share her story next. Okay, everyone's gonna have to give me grace 1 quick second. Something happened with our PowerPoint, hang on. Sorry, everyone, I do appreciate your grace. Okay, let's try this one more time. Thanks, everybody. Now I'm showing you how easy it is to do this. Since I'm so far from perfect, I can manage to mess it up. But now I'd like to introduce you to my friend Megan. I'm going to unmute Megan so that she can share her story. And it's just an incredible opportunity for you to hear what she's been able to do in just a short amount of time. So Megan, go ahead.
Thank you, Becca, so much for having me on and for sharing your story. It's very inspiring to me. I know you really inspired me when I first started coaching, so I'm thankful for you. Yeah, so when I started just 2 years ago, I was practically fresh out of college, just a year out. So I'm a pretty young mom, and we had just had our first baby, Owen, and he's now 2.5. And, you know, I didn't have a weight loss story when I came to coaching. I just honestly I was looking for something to do during nap time to get out of my mom bubble. And let me be clear, I love being a mom. I feel like it's my calling of my life to be a mommy and a wife. But I just felt like I needed some community and to connect. And my husband and I even said when I first started, wouldn't it be cool if eventually, was our wording, I made $500 to $1,000 a month and I could pay for vacations or something like that. And very quickly it turned into more than that. I just did the work. I first was just enjoying coaching and just kind of doing it and squeezing it in here and there. And then maybe a few months in, we were like, holy guacamole, like people are getting really healthy. There are transformations happening. There is something to this. Maybe I should get a little more intentional. And intentional just looked like 8 to 10 hours a week. And then in about 8 to 9 months of coaching, we were able to pay off 8 years of student loan debt that we had left with the job that we were hoping to eventually make $500 with. So it's been really amazing to see that, wow, just by helping people, because that's what it's about. When I first started, my coach, Tiana, was like, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know. I just want to help some people. She's like, how would it bless your family? I was like, I don't know. I don't care, Tiana. I just want to help some people. And then it turned into a lot more than that. But, you know, it's been an evolution even just in the past 2 years of what it's meant. We were able to have our second child, Calvin, who you can see there. And I love that picture at the bottom left of my screen of him sticking his fingers in my mouth. I'm on the phone texting a client, and we're about to fly somewhere for a leadership retreat with Take Shape for Life. But because that's what we get to do, is we get to be moms and we get to go where we want to go and do what we want to do with the people we love. I was with my husband. But also I just wanted to share with you guys now, 2 years in, what it looks like for us. My husband last week, I can officially tell you all this, last week gave his 6-month notice to his employer. My husband is a few years older than me. He's 27, and I'm retiring him next month from his corporate America job as a chemical engineer. A really great job, a job he even enjoys, but we get to be together as a family, and that is what matters most to us. So that's our exciting news, and that's what our journey has been like. I would like to introduce to you guys my good friend Vonda. Actually, when I started coaching just over 2 years ago at one of our getaways for coaching, Go Global, she was one of the first leaders I met, and she inspired me so much. So I know she's going to have some great words to inspire you all.
Thanks everybody for your patience again. I'm finding Vonda among the Lots and lots of people that we have here, so I appreciate your patience. It's going to take just a second for us to locate Vonda and unmute her. She's coming. We're building the excitement. Okay, Vonda, go for it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you, Megan. 3.5 years ago, our lives looked radically different. I was a stay-at-home mama with 3 little girls, 7 months old, 4 and 5 years old. My husband was flying 747s for a cargo company, and he was gone 18 straight days out of every single month. So he was gone 18 days, home 12. I was a single mom for those 18 days, and we were absolutely desperate for a change. We were very stressed, not happy with where we were. The lack of freedom that we had and the time apart was really tough. And we knew if we did not make a change in our lives that we would wake up in 10 or 15 years and our little girls would be heading into high school and college, and those years would be gone. And there'd be a lot that we had missed together as a family. I think sometimes that there are tough circumstances that really make you realize just how important it is to make a fundamental shift. And I was kind of feeling sorry for myself, feeling like we were missing out on so much. But that is when I realized I can continue in this, keep my head above water mode, or I can do something about this. And the choice was really up to me. I was exhausted. I was completely worn out. Thought, oh, good glory, now that I'm a mom, am I ever going to feel rested again? I don't know if any of y'all have ever felt that way. But I was 30 pounds overweight. I knew my girls deserved more. They deserved a mommy who was thriving, excited about life, energized, positive, vibrant, and that excitement that mommy loves life and not just like merely surviving. I wanted to model all of that for them. I jumped on our program, and within 8 weeks, I lost 30 pounds. My husband went on to lose 50 pounds. And the timing was amazing because just 2 weeks before I had started my own journey towards physical transformation, we had said no to a $43,000 franchise opportunity. We were so desperate for a change, but the franchise would have taken me out of the home while my husband was still flying all over the world, and that was not what we wanted. The very freedom that what we wanted would not be freedom at all. So when I became a coach 6 weeks into my own journey, it was the biggest blessing that I knew God had literally opened up the door. I initially wanted to put our girls in a private Christian school, and I knew I wanted to be at home. And I was able to literally sit on the floor in our playroom, support our clients while watching my baby crawl around, and my bigger girls are playing with their dolls, playing dance up. And in between nap times, theirs, not mine, I was reaching out to our coaches and clients. And it also gave me an amazing opportunity to pour into other people's lives and love on them and encourage them. And I did not realize just how isolated I had become with having 3 children in 4.5 years. I was getting reconnected with old friends and that I had not seen in a long time. And it was so fulfilling knowing that I was helping others. So fast forward 5 months, my husband was no longer flying, but he was coaching with me. And just 3 short years ago, it's hard to believe that it was just 3 short years ago, on Christmas, he was gone. My baby was kissing the iPad, saying hello to daddy while he was in Alaska. So coaching has afforded us not only the time freedom, but also the financial freedom to give to ministries that we believe in and support missionaries whom we dearly love. And our girls are seeing a mommy and a daddy who are daily loving and serving others. And that's really the kind of legacy that we want to leave with them. I'm going to pass it on to Tia. Tia, I would love to hear your story.
Wow. Thank you so much, Vonda. And, it was about 6 years ago, a year before Becca got on program. Becca was just right around the corner from me. She was a next door neighbor. And we were introduced by our pastor's wife. And through that process, early on in coaching, Doug and I came in to Take Shape for Life. We literally found out about it through Facebook, through a guy that was living his health out loud. He was posting weekly what was going on in his life. And my husband, at the time, we had retail furniture stores. And I was a stay-at-home mom. That was my dream and my vision for my life, was to be a mom and a wife and really partner in helping in women's ministries and really equipping women from a very young age. That was my dream and my passion. Well, fast forward to my husband having a company, stressed out, 60 pounds overweight. I was 40 pounds overweight. We were just like sinking. And I remember looking at him the day he came home and said he wanted to get on another program, a diet. Although this is an optimal health program and what it's done in our life, I wanted to run the other way. But I saw the hope in his eyes, and I saw what this could do for him. He saw hope in his buddy's eyes of what he was accomplishing. So I jumped into the program literally to support my husband. We went on to lose, he lost 60 pounds and I lost 40 pounds in 14 weeks. But that was just the beginning. What I realized was it gave me, within a week of getting my blood sugar stabilized, drinking water, having someone in my corner texting me and asking me how I was doing, calling me and saying, I'm here for you, I realized I had hope again. And I was like, I want to share this with other people. See, I'd always had a passion and to assist other people. That's what I left high school and went into ministry, and then I married a businessman. And so what I love about Take Shape for Life is it merges that mission heart as well as that business entrepreneur mindset. And what it's been able to accomplish for Doug and I is to be able to, bring people out, go on vacations, travel the world with our girls, but most importantly is to build community. I believe that breakthrough happens in community. And so that is my passion, is to be a community starter. And I just invite you to jump into this process. My favorite quote is, never doubt the small group of thoughtful, committed people that can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And I'm so honored to get to partner with the women on this call today. And I just desire that more would be awakened. And that's what Take Shape for Life did for me, is it woke me up to my purpose. It woke me up to being the mom I desired to be, and woke me up to being the friend and the daughter. And most importantly, it awakened me to be the wife my husband needed. But more than that, the wife I wanted to be for my husband. So I encourage you to rise up today, kick that fear in the face, and really step into this process and connect with the person that invited you on. Thank you so much. And Becca, talking about family, I never thought that my one yes to saying yes to health for myself would really impact the families of America. And I would love for you just to kind of share the statistics of where our country is at right now.
Thanks, Tia. And if you guys aren't touched yet, then I hope that you are really just thinking about what you've heard, because, these are stories of our lives, but as much as we're excited to share with you our stories, we really want you to create your own story. And for those of you that maybe haven't encountered Take Shape for Life yet, or you've had your own personal victories, but you're just kind of looking at what we do and thinking about whether it would be a fit for you, we want to make sure that you understand it's not just that we do this for our families. We do this for America, because we look across and we know that there's a great need for what we have. The statistic of 1 in 6 kids, if you go somewhere where you interact with other children, whether it's at a park or school, you probably see the same things that I do, right? Kids running around. They don't look healthy, they're struggling, they're not eating healthy foods. And a lot of times it's just because parents don't know what to do. They haven't been trained. And one of the blessings of becoming health coaches as moms is that we've been able to transform our families first, and then let that ripple effect take place where it goes across the nation, truly. And so there are so many diseases and things that are related to our behaviors, and that's what we do as health coaches, is we come alongside people and we show them what is possible. But there is a great need for what we have in our country. And we know that when moms get healthy, that everybody else tends to follow along. So for most of us who are sharing our stories on the line, we chose health for ourselves. And for those that don't have a weight loss story, many of them still had a need to get healthier. Maybe they needed to work on healthy sleep, or maybe they were fueling with caffeine, or they didn't understand how to eat healthy. And so health can be a far wide range of things. And I think that when you hear the stories from the rest of us, you're going to realize that we all came in for different reasons, but we've all had a similar effect on people. We've also been able to create a healthy community. And, you know, it's very rare that you can do something where you're making such an incredible change and getting compensated well for it, but you're also getting to do it with people that you actually really enjoy being around. This is like an extended family for us. And so we've created this positive community where we are able to influence those that we love the most and those that we've actually never even met that live across the country. So that ripple effect is incredible. And it's also how we've been able to build our businesses from home, around our families, and yes, sometimes in our PJs. So, you know, what do we do as health coaches? Well, you know, we reinforce our own decisions to stay healthy. You know, we have accountability built into this model, which is incredible. We're building a community of people that want to grow personally. Have you ever worked with or been around people that are just happy with where they're at? You know, most of us have areas in our life that we want to improve on, and this has given us the opportunity to grow personally. We do well by doing good, which means we're compensated well for our time, which is why it's easy for us to fit this into the nooks and crannies of our life, but we're also making such an incredible impact that we're getting the competency or the compensation of goodwill in addition to being financially compensated for it. We're part of something very big. And then we talked about over and over that ripple effect. Tia said yes, and because she did, she gave me the opportunity to say yes. I said yes, and you heard Vonda share, and Vonda's a couple of generations of people saying yes between myself and her. And so it just goes on and on and on. And that's what we're excited to share with you. So the next person I have the honor to bring on is a great friend who also said yes to coaching and has just had an incredible impact on people. So Gina, come on and share your story, please.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share. And, you know, boy, oh boy, do I have a little bit of a different story than a lot of these ladies. You know, I came in to Take Shape for Life and really was introduced to this program by watching a few of you ladies melt away right in front of me at church. And that inspired me because, you know, although I had gone to school to be a nutritionist, I personally had struggled with my weight my entire life and really just couldn't get my head wrapped around it. So I came to this literally as someone who was looking to lose just a little bit of weight. Now, I honestly thought I'd lose 5 or 10 pounds and that would be it, but I really lost 65 pounds in a very short period of time. And little did I realize that that was going to inspire a lot of people. And you guys can see on the middle of the screen, the first people I inspired are right there, dead center, and that's my family. You know, I'm a mama of 7, and that takes a little bit of time, a little bit of money, and a whole lot of work. And so, you know, it's not like I had extra time, but the other thing that I did was, you know, when I was first introduced was I ran a business that I had built for 17 years. And to be honest with y'all, I loved what I did. I was passionate about what I did. And in some small way, I felt like I was making a difference. So I was satisfied with what I did. But what I didn't realize is it was at the cost of those beautiful children right there. And I didn't want them to have to suffer. I didn't want them to have to set things aside because mama was running in and out of the house, running to do parties or on the phone with customers trying to assist them. And so what I found was about 30 pounds in, my mama wanted to get healthy. And I don't know about you all, but I get passionate about changing my mama's life. And that's what happened. So I said, you know what, I'll say yes to coaching. And I thought I was just going to help my mama and a couple of really close friends. But what I really found was there are thousands of people in my life that really were affected, whether they had 2 pounds to lose or they had hundreds of pounds to lose. Their lives were affected. And so what happened for us is, you know, we decided to, my husband and I decided to adopt 3 beautiful children from Ethiopia. And I don't know if y'all have ever adopted, but it ain't cheap. Okay, services cost money. And so what we did was we found ourselves in a really weird predicament. We found ourselves in a place where we had never been in debt before outside of our home. So we had our house debt, we had $65,000 worth of adoption debt, and we were kind of freaking out because we knew I was going to have to work more hours than I was already working 60 plus hours. My husband had a career for 23 years where he was working 60 plus hours, and we just knew we had to do something different. And one day I actually looked at the income I was making just helping my mama and helping some friends and realized real quickly in less than 2 to 3 hours a week, I was making the same amount of money I was making working 60 hours a week. And that's where it all changed for us because I then dove deep. I said, you know, I'm going to stop spending time over here where I was passionate. I'm going to get passionate about helping others. And that's what we found was we were able to do that. And this last summer, in less than 6 months, we were able to pay off all of our debt. We live 100% debt free. So in 6 months, y'all, we were able to do that. But in addition to that, we went on a vacation. And you can see our house down in the corner. We found this house, and 3 weeks later we said, you know what? We're leaving state. We're moving to our dream house, and we're going to live a life of our dreams. Why? Because with Take Shape for Life, we were able to financially not only get debt-free, but take my husband away from that stress-free job and really begin to live out a life of passion and something we are passionate about, which is assisting America to get healthy. So that's a little bit of my story, but I would love it, Paula, if you would come on, because I know your story is different, and share your side of the story.
Oh, thanks, Gina. What a privilege, just to be on with all of you ladies. And I'm a little different season of life than many of you and a little bit older, but oh my gosh, the same kind of passion. It was only 5 years ago that I made the decision to get healthy along with my husband, and our life was just totally out of balance. And I also wanted to not only create health for us, because we found ourselves having less and less energy and finding ourselves not thriving at all, but I wanted to create it for my family, because I realized we had modeled a very unhealthy lifestyle. And this program hit at a really pivotal time for me. We had just closed our retail furniture store after 13 years. And with that, I had immense financial overhead pressure and stress. And with 35 employees and long hours and weekends, holidays, and evenings. And so I just can't tell you where I was, not only physically, because with all of that stress does oftentimes cause weight gain and the other physical symptoms that come with that. It's not a very healthy way to live. But I was also I missed a lot of dinners with my kids and a lot of sporting events. And it came at a high price. It may have looked like a glamorous business, but the price was well too high. And when I first began to see the changes in myself and the clarity of mind, and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so different. I mean, it was only within like a week that I'm like, I wanted to share this with some of my friends. And actually, I kind of wanted to just shout it from the rooftops, but obviously that would have been weird and everyone would have thought I was doing an infomercial or something. So it was more on one-on-one coffee dates. And as I began to actually see exactly what was happening in me happen in them, it was something that a passion came inside of me that I had not experienced for years. And I found myself that it was not only fulfilling, but it actually birthed the ministry to reach out to other people and to really reach people on a personal level that I had not been able to do because of time or energy or just mentally. I just wasn't at that place. And it was a light bulb came on for me about the same time. My kids are all grown. We now have our first granddaughter, which is super blessing, and you can see her picture on the video. But the light bulb came on for me because I was at that pivotal place, and I was changing careers. I didn't know what to do, but I did know that I wanted a good income. I'm not afraid to work hard, but I wanted to do something I love. And so once I looked at the business opportunity, and I thought, I can do this. And not only that, it's really fun. And you know what the coolest part? Not only am I helping hundreds of clients, but now I have many coaches that are down, even Megan and my daughter and many more. I could name husbands and wives alone that are able to stay at home with their family. And they don't have to do what I did to earn the income that I did in our retail days. And so they're now home. They can be nap time coaches, or they can be full-on coaches and just work the business around their schedule. And so another blessing was that it gave me opportunity to totally fund our financial expenses for our family and our income, so that my husband could actually start his own practice. We knew that would take 2 years to get it up and off the ground. And I was like, it felt so good to go, honey, we can do this. I can help us. And that has since been thriving, and we're just loving it. But I really want a rich life of not just finances, but experiences and investing in people and ministries and missions. And I love the life I have now. Thanks to the program and coaching people, I just have meaning and I have purpose. I get to spend lots of time with my children and grandchildren and my husband. And it's an opportunity that I never thought possible, and it couldn't be a better fit for me. I just found an opportunity, and I decided to put some action behind it. And, we're all at different seasons. And Jen, I'd love to just hear from you. You have still stay-at-home children, and you have ministry that you're working around.
Yeah, I do love, Paula, how this really is for any phase or stage of your life. It is possible. And I actually watched Tia, who you guys heard from earlier, for probably 3 years on Facebook. We knew each other back in our college days, and I had been watching her posts for years. And it was, for me, when a financial need arose, that I reached out. I do have 4 children, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard people say, if you could do anything without fear of failure, what would you do? Well, at almost 40 years old, my husband and I came to a crossroads where we discovered what that was, and we had a vision to start a church. So the bigger question for me was, can I do this without fear of being completely financially bankrupt? Because there was not going to be a stream of income really flowing on this mission and this dream that we had to impact our city in such a way wasn't really going to provide for these 4 kids that we had. So that's when I reached out to Tia to discover what exactly was she doing. And my kids were starting school, so I was going to have all 4 children in elementary school, so I knew that I had some time flexibility. I knew I could go clock in somewhere, but the reality was I had been at home for 10 years, and the privilege to be involved in my kids' classrooms and to be an active part of our new church plant, that was a huge desire for me. So to go clock in somewhere was not going to give me the flexibility to really create the life that I wanted to live. And so while that was on the table, as soon as I heard more about Take Shape for Life, I was like, I'm moving that off the table, and I'm going to put my eggs in this basket, because it's going not only to provide the income my family needs, but the flexibility that I need to design my life around the things that mattered the most to me. And so, I also didn't just want a stream of income from anywhere. I wanted to have it be purposeful and meaningful. And what I get to do as a pastor, of course, is meaningful. It's changing lives in a spiritual sense. But what I get to do as a health coach is extremely meaningful and purposeful, because I get to daily interact with people and really see their life change from the inside out. And I get to work and partner with a community like the other women that you're hearing, where we get to grow together inside out. Well, actually, we're shrinking out and growing in. And honestly, Take Shape for Life is so congruent with my values. A passion for people, a passion for health, a passion really for families. And it also is a very integrous group of leadership. And so when I discovered this very quickly, that, wow, this is really who I am, and this is what I'm all about, I said yes. And in 3 months, as a coach, that stream of income provided enough to meet the basic needs of my family in a really critical time. And now in 2 years, it has provided above and beyond basic needs, so much so that yesterday our church was able to provide 25 homeless families here in the urban core of San Diego with Christmas presents, with groceries, and with some real felt needs that they had. And our church obviously did that, but I single-handedly was able to provide for half of those. So it's amazing what you can do. Yes, we're helping people get healthy, but we're on a mission that's really changing lives for the good. And so since mine was about finance, Becca, a little bit more, that's where I think it would take shape. I think it would be awesome for you to maybe share a little bit just where the current finances are in America today.
Thank you, Jen. That was awesome. And yes, as we close you guys out, we wanted to just touch on real quickly, what this might look like for you, because we know you might be thinking, well, that's nice for you, but how can that help me? And as most of us know, the financial state of America is not necessarily healthy for many families. These are just a couple of the statistics. And maybe something here is something that you can relate to. I know, again, for us, we could survive, but we didn't have any extra. And I think you've heard a number of stories where people were looking to just fill in that gap or to create a different stream. So again, many people are saying they have very little savings. People are talking about the fact that they saved nothing. Baby boomers haven't saved enough for retirement. Adults say they don't have anything saved at some point. And then most people are spending more than they make. And I think that last statistic is probably the scariest of all, and something that either we can relate to or we know someone that lives that way. And so as Gina was talking about, not just paying off debt, but living debt-free, that's where our financial freedom comes from. And that's where our mental health comes from, because now we're living a life of meaning and purpose where we have the time and the financial freedom to do the things that we want with the people that we want. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty and show you a little bit about what it looks like to coach. Obviously, you can see at the top that in a yearly income, people can make a few $1,000s a year. Everyone who was represented on this webinar is an integrated national or above. So if you look, that's the baseline of the averages for those ranks going forward. What we want you to know, though, is that we're making at least 6-figure incomes working 12 to 24 hours a week. So if you're at home, you probably have the time. If you're watching this on a lunch break or later because you had to be at work today, I challenge you to think about how valuable is your time? And are you compensated well for your time, doing something that you enjoy that's of meaning and purpose? Because that's what these incomes represent. They represent people choosing health and that ripple effect of one person helping another person, helping another person, helping another person all across the country. And so we want you to know that this is an amazing opportunity. This slide is one of my favorites. This is Susan. She's not on the webinar today, but she is a friend of all of ours. And what I love about her pictures is she's showing you an integrated life. She's showing you what we have the opportunity to do when we have the time and the financial freedom to do it. Travel, that's them in Maui. Service by, coaching your kids' teams and being there to attend those kinds of things. Leadership, being able to help other people. Time for yourself. And again, as moms, we often have to let that one go to fill in all the other gaps. Just the freedom to go and do things when you have that opportunity. Our own personal health, because often we give that up to, fit into the other spaces that people need us. Time for family, and then fun. We want to let you guys know that what we do is really fun. We're good at having fun. That's why some of us are wearing exercise pants on the bottom and business attire on the top, because that's fun, and we can. And we want to invite you to consider that kind of an opportunity. So we want you to join us. We want you to think about what's possible for your family as you finish out 2016 and go in, or 2015 and go into 2016. Please think about reaching out to the person that shared this with you, but more importantly, think about what your life could look like 12 months from now. You heard the stories. 12 months from now, if you just reach out and help some people in your community and you start the ripple effect for yourself. Thanks for taking the time today. We want to end this recording. And then we're going to go ahead and stop for just a few minutes, and you can hang on the line if you're able to.